While I edit this video and put it all together and make it look really nice and upload it, the ban list is probably going to drop and I'm going to look like a complete fucking idiot. But you know what? I'm going to upload this video regardless if there's a ban list or not, okay? So screw you. If I have to look like an idiot to get good content out, then so be it. Welcome back to Talkie Boy's third consistent Andy video in a row where we'll be making high quality real Yu-Gi-Oh videos discussing, of course, the inevitable ban list topic, which has never been done before, and this is completely original in my idea, and anyone else who does a ban list discussion, fuck you. So let's begin straight of all with the obligatory Firewall Dragon. Oh, Firewall Dragon, yeah, that card should be banned? Apparently Japanese cartoons now provide plot armor to healthy and balanced formats. Did I really just say Japanese cartoons? All these kids watching their Japanese cartoons and they're wasting the time, and they could be doing things like studying and getting a job, and why are you watching these 2D women? Okay, are we done talking about Firewall? Do I need to mention Firewall for the 50th millionth time in a video? Okay, let's move on. So the next potential Goki hit would be Nightmare Goblin. So the reason that this card is really fucked is because of the fact that you're able to summon the Ibli and then bring back a Link monster and then keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. Nightmare Goblin is one of the more powerful cards in the kind of combo that Gokis do that require them to do the big silly extra Link, you Link, my mom hates Links, Jeff. So Nightmare Goblin is probably a realistic choice to be banned on the ban list. I don't know how likely that is. It's kind of like a power creep Seraphonite these days, and I don't really know if anyone's actually anticipating a hit, but I think it's probably the most likely card to be hit outside of Firewall. Now, the next potential hit, of course, for Goki would be Isolde. Isolde is, card's pretty good, isn't it? Milky mommy goth girlfriend, that's what Isolde is. I would hate to see Isolde go just based on the fact that her artwork kind of... So while Isolde would be gone, I think another potential hit would be, for example, the Phoenix Blade card. Hang on. I understand, like, it doesn't do that much hitting it and stuff like that, and let's put in a meme guess and say, hey, let's limit it. But they only play one anyway. Yeah, that's the joke. So Phoenix Blade being hit, I think, would get rid of a lot of really dumb, stupid loops that can happen even outside of Goki. For those of you who've been playing the game long enough, you're probably aware that Phoenix Blade has been involved in a lot of silly, dumb loops and stuff in the past, regardless of Goki or not. It's kind of the same reasoning that I think Daigusto Emeril got banned. Daigusto Emeril itself was obviously very powerful in Zoo, but every time you look at YouTube, especially to Tainted Wisdom's channel, and you find any kind of silly, dumb, infinite FTK loop, Emeril is always there. Oh boy, not a day goes by where I don't think about Blue-Blooded Oni. Not a day goes by where I don't think about Blue-Blooded Oni. Does anyone miss Blue-Blooded Oni other than me? See, no one gives a shit. So clearly Phoenix Blade going, no one would care about that either. Regardless if it hits Goki or not, it's a silly card, it's really dumb, it's infinite fodder for discarding, especially with the nightmares now. It's probably going to be a problem in the future. Just ban it. Next one is a bit of a kind of curveball. That's Lady Lapis Lazuli. For those of you who are aware or haven't seen the prestigious, world famous, internationally recognized Glasgow regional results, you would have seen that we actually had a top cut spot taken by Gem Knight FTK. And I think it's very silly that there is a Gem Knight FTK, or any FTK by that measure, in the game that's actually somewhat consistent and able to pull off its combo in a format where basically you're just trying to have a good mirror match. I don't really know if that's the case with Goki. I don't, maybe I'm just really old or something, but apparently I just hate fun. Fuck fun. So Lady Lapis I think is worth a mention in my eyes. The next potential hit is Electromite. Now, while I understand that pendulums haven't really done anything since, I don't know, Starving Venom PP was like a big poo-poo boss monster in the game like a few months ago, I still think that Electromite contributes to a lot of really dumb shenanigans. Bro, just stick to the game plan. Just stick to the game plan. Triple Electromite every turn. Congratulations on 10,000 subs. 10,000 people for some reason want to see a grown man scream game plan. Almost as dumb as people subscribing to a channel where some idiot in a penguin hat just says Jeff every single video. So Electromite contributes to a lot of really stupid, dumb kind of pseudo FTK locks with the crazy boards that I can put up first turn, and I think it's a damn shame that Electromite should probably be kind of a hit on the ban list. Not banned, but probably limited. It's just because of the fact that of all like the silly combos that you guys have probably seen, especially Game Plan Boy, he's very good at doing those kind of combos, and I think that a lot of the things it does are very unfair. Hopefully we'll get pendulum-centric Link monsters in the future that aren't as broken, but still help the pendulum mechanic play somewhat on the Master Rule 4. So for the next part of this video, I'll be talking about the inevitable Trickstar hit. hits. There's a couple of options here, and I've kind of cheated because I put 3 cards down as 1 for the top 10. Top quality content. So I think one potential hit could be Candina. Candina is obviously a +1 on your normal summon. Very, very strong, very, very powerful. Very, very resilient to hand traps if you have a Licorice in your hand, so you're able to bounce it back to your hand safely. So I think just as a generic +1, we could potentially see Candina being hit. The next option for Trickstars would be Light Stage. I think it's really serious that this isn't a once per turn card. The fact that you can just open like 4 field spells in Trickstar, and that is just a good hand, unless of course they have Droll and Lockbird. But obviously the main reason is the fact that it's just a +1 on activation, not even once per turn. And finally, I have Reincarnation down as one of my potential Trickstar hits. Now, I think Reincarnation generally is a card that is fairly fair in a way because of the fact that it does require you to know what your opponent is doing. And I think that being able to just snipe cards out of your opponent's hand, planning ahead and knowing the format, knowing the game, knowing the decks, I think that's really good to promote that. So I think the card should maybe put to 1. Because when you're dealing with multiple Reincarnations, sometimes that can get a little bit silly, but I think Reincarnation is particularly deadly because of its graveyard effect, with the ability to revive cards and make link monsters and spam the board in a deck that really, I think, shouldn't necessarily be a link spammy deck, but you can see it doing those kind of things. And the final hit for Trickstar, I think potentially could be Scapegoat. I am going to argue and say that Scapegoat shouldn't be hit because I would like to see Scapegoat stay in the game for a little bit longer, just because of the fact that older legacy decks might be able to take advantage of Scapegoat to an extent as well. I think Trickstar is the one that takes best advantage of Scapegoat, obviously, but I think with the hits given here, Scapegoat might not be enough to keep it super relevant in the top tier meta. But I think keeping Scapegoat in the game to help older decks is something that we should probably maybe just let hang on for a little bit. The last deck that I need to talk about being hit, of course, is Sky Striker. Now, there's a few options, I think, but I think probably the most obvious ones would be Drones and Engage. Engage is a +1 with a bonus draw. Seriously, they actually designed a card with a bonus draw. It's just drawing bonus cards for free. Now, Engage is obviously an extremely powerful card, but I think the fact that it's splashable in lots of decks as an engine, particularly with Drone, going into Kagari, adding back, making more link plays like that, I think that's kind of good and creative, but at the same time, do we really want to see a situation where pretty much every deck's just throwing in a Sky Striker package just to be able to make their deck combo off a little bit heavier? I think it's very sad that Goki ended up using a bunch of Sky Striker cards, even though it really just didn't use them for Sky Striker things particularly. I know that version of the deck kind of died off a little bit, but I think it's still relevant to mention. And of course, Drones is the most important one because it's essentially a 1-card Link 2 that doesn't require your normal summon. In a lot of decks, that could be very problematic, and in the future, we could see that being very overpowered. But I think these are probably the 2 cards that should be hit. I'm going to assume 1 and 1, maybe. I think that could be a little bit too harsh. Maybe just Engage to 1, maybe even only just Drones to 1. I'm not a fucking Houdini, okay? I'm just putting some ideas out there. And the final section, we'll be talking about cards that could return. I want Exiton back. Going second sucks. Going second has been so shit in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's been a long time since we've actually optimally went second in this game. I can't remember the last time we've played an actual serious deck that legitimately blinded second. Okay, fine, Spiral this year, but shut up. In general, going second strategies have really sucked for the most part of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s lifespan, and I think giving that kind of strategy some kind of life would be very, very beneficial, especially considering that you don't really get your battle phase with Exiton because you don't take any damage or whatever. I think that in itself could maybe give it some kind of balancing fairness so that you're not just wiping the board and then killing your opponent. It's just because of the fact that going first is so overpowered, I don't really know what else that we can do in the game other than just make going second a little bit more broken as well. If everything's broken, then the game's not really broken, is it? And the final card to come back would be Construct. Part of me doesn't want Construct to come back because I know there's a lot of people out there waiting to touch themselves to Japanese cartoons of Shadol Construct artists' impersonation of her feet. Every day we stray further from God. While I do like the archetype, I just think that a +2 or 3 that bins a light monster for free is just really insane in a going second deck. But like I said with Exiton, going second sucks, so why not just make going second good again? Let's make going second great again. And my final, most important hit that I need to bring up in this video, and please, this is, if you take anything away from this video, this is the most important hit that needs to happen right now for this ban list. The Shifty Mech Knight. You know, the one that like moves around and stuff. Card is fucked. Please, Konami. Well, that's my ban list prediction. I don't care if Konami upload the ban list in the middle of me editing it. I'm going to upload this anyway. Subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Twitch, join the Discord community. And if you've watched this far, leave a comment down below, #make going second grade again. Peace.